you think, Rich?
No, I don't think he's going to go. I think. I hope we see sense. That's all I'm going to say. But I mean, look, I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I wish he'd come on board with Advance when Advance launched. But what will happen is, Paul, with a lot of these people, when they see the gravitational pull that Advance is getting, right, and it is getting a gravitational pull, it's going to suck everything into its orbit, and people will just naturally come. I mean, I was given off earlier on about YouTubers, and I kind of do it in a way. I'm doing it out of a bit of devilment. You know what I mean? Because I kind of like just stick it on people, because I think they need to have it done sometimes, because people get a bit sort of ahead of themselves. But I think a lot of people are going to come in the gravitational pull that Advance is going to generate. Ben is going to do so well in the new year in terms of his speaking, in terms of policy, in terms of what's going on, that he is going to pull people with it. It's going to be as simple as that. Once policies start coming out, now again, I haven't seen the policy. I'm just a lowly member, so I don't know what's going on. But once the policies start coming,
don't be so humble. Don't be so humble.
I'm so humble. I'm so humble. Uriah Heep, you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And like I say, we've got to be ready, because if we're going to win this election, when Farage really stumbles and falls, which he will, then that's the opportunity when a lot of people will come across, and it'll be a completely different dispensation. The Tories are finished. They're on 18% in the polls, and they're hailing this as a great victory, that they've actually managed to get 18% in an opinion poll, which was run by one of their, I think Lord Ashcroft ran the poll. It's pitiful. At the minute, the only show in town is Reform, right? Electorally. But that's going to change. Yeah. And the two-party system in the UK is gone, because nobody trusts them. And what we've got to do as Advance and as supporters of Advance is tap in. This is where Lecture Tommy can come in, is tap in to that 10 million people that aren't voting, or however, it's more than that, isn't it? But that, if we got another 10 million people voting, right, and voting for Advance, then we win the next election with a landslide victory. Simple as that.
Guys, I'm ploughing through the chat while Richard is talking. Thank you very much. Bets, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. So Ben, thank you. And Theo, only Calmac Keir Starmer needs a cold stunner. Thank you very much.
A cold shower.
A cold shower, yeah, definitely. Welcome, Richard. Richard,
thanks,
glad to see you on. Glad to see you in. Richard the Lionheart. Listen,
thank you.
He doesn't need any praise. He's quite confident enough.
No, I need it. I need the praise. I'm a very sort of shallow person. I only survive on praise. If people don't praise me,
Advanced UK Jenny says Richard was gone too long between shows. Mrs. Inman is missing half the pigs in blankets from the fridge.
All of them.
I am absolutely not going to comment on that for 1 second. All I'm going to say, you got to bring home the bacon. You got to bring home the bacon.
Richard the Lionheart is right. Richard, your fan club is growing, mate.
You better believe it. It's
Richard is Santa.
Ho ho ho.
Robert says Lucy Brown helped with Panodrama. I'm not sure.
She did. Yeah. Right, listen, there's a long story, and there's a, put it this way, me and Lucy didn't see eye to eye. Let's just put it that way. I kind of had the measure of Lucy Brown for a long time before all the wheels came off. But that's
working class patriot. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, patriot. God bless you, man.
Yeah. And you, all the best, mate. Thank you so much. Hopefully the clicking noise has now disappeared, because I've turned on the noise cancellation. We've got 1,700 people. Richard, behave yourself. Oh, it's Momus, is it? Oh, who needs enemies when you got friends like this? Dear, oh dear. Let's have a little look at a video. Let's have a little look. Now, this is a bit loud, this, right? But hold on a minute. Let me get it up. Where are we? I was going to play Ben's one, Richard, but you played it on yours earlier. Let's have a little look at a bit of Christmas shopping in London over the weekend. Have a look at this.
No, I've seen this one.
How much more of this bullshit we got to put up with, boys?
All I want for Christmas is a Barrett Light 50.
I mean, honestly, though, on a serious note, the police last week were arresting people for calls for global intifada. They're only about 24 months too late, aren't they?
I mean, I tell you what, do you know something?
We get an apology for that now. Can we get an apology for telling the police for the last 2 years plus that they should be arresting people for calling for global intifada? Now they're doing it. Do we get an apology?
No,
they've always been arresting people for that. Don't you know that?
Oh,
you're not going to get an apology. You're going to get a gaslighting. You're not going to.
You
were all under their, surveillance all the time. You just don't know. You don't know how it works behind the scenes.
Yeah. Let's not forget that the party that was in power when this started was the Tory party. Yeah. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that the Tory party sacked Suella Braverman for speaking out. Against
they're the ones who
immigration.
started the Islamophobia laws as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the internet harms legislation and all the rest. So let's not forget what the Tory party is: a wet, pathetic, feeble, treacherous, treasonous set of wretches. Let's just let's not mince our words here. That's a good point. Advanced UK Jenny, waiting on policy. We need to see some policy in the new year. We definitely need to see some stuff coming out.
I think that when Advance starts polling, like I was saying, obviously Rupert's mindset is pre all of this, right?
Yeah.
So I'm explaining what Rupert's mindset is pre all of that, and that's why he's probably thinking about maybe Tories is a better bet, like he's going to reform them, blah blah whatever, right?
Yeah.
But once Advance starts polling, it changes the whole landscape. It changes the whole predictions. So any predictions that make right now is just pointless. Like it could be something very drastic happens and we fail with Advance, right? Like we don't get anything on board. Then obviously the whole, hopefully that doesn't happen. But anything can happen till that time. But given that if Advance is gonna start when Advance is gonna start polling, when they put out their policies and stuff, then we will see what the reaction is of the people. If the Advance policies is not strong enough, it's not stronger than reform, or is very much in line with reform or Tories or whatever, then we'll also see people not taking up Advance that much as well. So many things have to be taken under consideration. That's what probably Rupert is waiting for.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I don't think Rupert will join this. I think it's more likely that Farage will try and do a deal with the Tories. But if Farage thinks he can win a massive landslide, he's probably not going to even look at that. No. So this is where Advance can come on the outside lane. We were talking about this on the last show. Advance are making slow and steady progress, and we've got to realize that they can do it. They can definitely do it.
Custom user says we won't be voting when digital ID comes in. That's Labour's evil plan. Look, let's have a little look. Maybe we need a Christendom party. I think we've got all the parties we need right now. We just need
I think so. It's a very bad idea. Whatever other people think. but I think it's a very bad idea mixing religion and governance, because like especially Christianity, like it's a very personal thing, it's a very cultural thing. We
Yeah,
need a
yeah.
cultural revolution of it. We need people to return to Christian roots. But I was talking with Ben about this as well, when I was recording it this Sunday, an episode with him. I was like, well, we don't really want to be in a position where we exchange Allahu Akbar for Christu Akbar, right?
I
So we don't
disagree
really
totally.
want extremism in politics.
No, I'm going to
Do
push
you
back.
think
I'm
like
going to
we
push
need
back.
a Christian
Push back
national?
against that
Like,
massively.
go on.
I'm going to push back against it massively. Our country, Momus, is a Christian country. The Constitution's Christian. The House of Parliament's Christian. Since the old Anglo-Saxon law codes, it was basically based on Scripture. Our country has been governed under Christian law. Now you cannot compare. It's like comparing, like literally comparing light with darkness. You can't compare Islam with Christianity. Islam's a heresy of Christianity, and a dangerous death cult. Christianity has brought nothing but good in this country. Even despite all the problems that we had in the Reformation, when obviously Christian had gone awry and it got brought back on track by the Reformation. When you reform Islam, you get ISIS. When you reform Christianity, you get John Wesley, you get George Whitefield, and of course you get.
Oh yeah, and we've talked about this, and we do agree upon those things. But
you get William Wilberforce. Now William Wilberforce was an MP, and he went into Parliament specifically to abolish slavery. And after Wilberforce's great reforms, the Royal Navy spent 100 years, or certainly 50 to 60 years, fighting against other empires to free slaves, to free black slaves. So I think we need more Christianity in politics. We don't need a Christian party.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I was saying.
Yeah.
Right, like like we've talked about this before as well, right? Like that we would like more Christians, more people with more Christian values in the parliament, more military people, more like people who have done stuff with Christian values in the parliament. But having a Christian party is a very different thing than having Christians being in the party.
You know, I agree. I agree. I'll tell you why I agree, Richard. You said yourself, when you're doing a live stream, as soon as you start talking about Christianity in the past, not so much now maybe, because you've picked up your following for that, but I think Liam said the same. It may not
was
be
Liam.
you. I think
It was Liam. It was Liam.
Yeah, it was Liam. As soon as you talk about religion, it falls off the top of a cliff, right? And I agree with that.
Well, listen, that's the difference between doing things. I mean, by the way, this isn't aimed at Liam, but the reality is, if you're doing something out of conviction, I'll be honest with you, I would like everybody in advance to be a Christian. You two guys included, to be, on fire Christians, basically doing it for the sake of Christ. Because I think what's happened is secularism has had such a stranglehold, and one of the reasons that we have lost, and we've lost the war on terror. People think that we won the global war on terror. We didn't. We lost it. When we pulled out of Afghanistan, we lost the global war on terror. And the reason for that is because the people that were making policy did not understand religion. Now, Al-Qaeda understand religion. ISIS understand religion. Now, their religion is perverse and evil. But if you're driven by a fundamental belief that is out of otherworldly, right? That belief is going to inform absolutely everything you do. Now, if that belief is evil, which is with Islam, then it's going to inform you to do evil things. If that belief is proper biblical Christianity, then you're going to do good things. And we can see the fruit of this. When there was Christian revivals in the 1800s in the UK and in Ireland, crime literally fell off. There was no crime. Literally in Wales in 1904, there was no crime. The judges, I think they got white gloves. If there's no crime, a judge gets a white glove because he hasn't got any trials to try. The police force in Wales, basically, when the Welsh revival happened, the police force was so bored that they formed male voice choirs and just sang Christian hymns. So that stuff, we can empirically say that stuff definitely happens when Christianity is surging. When Christianity backs off, we end up in the situation we're in now, where you've got a foreign religion that's come in and causing all sorts of havoc. You've got secularism that's caused 8 million babies to be aborted since 1968. Marriages have been completely devastated because divorce laws and just the moral compass has been spinning totally out of control. So when Christianity is working, it's a very positive thing, not just for politics, but for every area of life. The problem is none of us do it properly, right? Because we're all sinners. So none of us do Christianity properly. But when it is done properly, it makes a massive positive difference. So I would push back against that. You're right, you don't need a Christian party. But what we do need is the government and the laws and the legal system to be like it used to be, and a lot more Christian than it was, than it has been for the past 50 years. This all started in the 1960s under Roy Jenkins and the Liberals, not the Liberals, the Labour Party, and some of the reforms that they put through. And it's been a downward spiral ever since then. So people that just blame Blair, it goes right the way back to the 1960s when you look at the sort of moral malaise that we've been living through.
But that would happen in itself as well, isn't it, Richard? Like when we have more Christians in Parliament, then they will make laws and they will revert laws that are not based on Christian values and stuff. This is why I'm saying, like, we don't need that Christian nationalism.
You don't need a Christian party. You don't need a Christian party.
You just need the people of here who believe the values on which Britain has been built to be in Parliament. And when they are pro-British, they will definitely be pro-Christianity, because that's the basis of Britain.
So what you need is you need a Christian awakening where people become Christians, become genuine Christians. And I mean, one of the first things I would do is ban people, because obviously the constitution of the unwritten constitution is a Christian unwritten constitution. What I would do is ban people from swearing allegiance on the Quran.
Oh yeah.
Straight away.
It's either Bible or nothing.
Yeah, exactly. If you went to Saudi Arabia and you got involved, I mean, you can't get involved in politics in Saudi Arabia because it's a dictatorship. But if there was a political system in Saudi Arabia, and you said to them, right, I tell you what you're going to do, because there's a million Christians here. We want everybody to swear on the Christians should be allowed to swear on the Bible in whatever parliament they've got in a Muslim country. It's never going to happen, and we shouldn't do it either. We shouldn't have them swearing on the Quran. And we shouldn't have a Home Secretary that says the most important thing in her life is Mohammedism.
Yeah. Definitely.
Don't agree with this one. Dash Prussian says Ben Habib has no physical presence. When he's on stage, he looks like a little elf. However, he does speak well and he's a good man. I mean, look, your presence is your soul, not your body. I mean,
I have not seen anyone speak as well as Ben Habib.
Yeah,
I've not seen anyone have the presence and speak as in such a way that Ben Habib speaks. So I think Ben's.
I mean, people.
Yeah, Ben is a Christian. Yeah.
People can say, like, maybe he doesn't have the same charisma as, like, let's say Donald Trump or Farage or he's not a showman, right? Like, he's more of a policy guy. He's more of he wants to get things right and stuff. And you know what, like, it's something that William Clouston has said as well a lot, and I agree with him, of the leader of SDP, that we kind of have to be done with these sort of snake oil merchants and stuff, these populist figures and stuff. We actually need boring politicians back in Parliament who actually, in a way, right, like, who are not just sensationalizing things, who are actually more more educated on policies and stuff, who want to do the good things, who actually want, but not like no personality. I'm not saying Starmer boring. I mean, like, so a bit of policy nerds you need as well. And I think so, like, when Ben spoke on the stage, Unite the Kingdom rally on 13th of September, everyone was listening. He was very charismatic on it. I think so it's the context where you see people. Sometimes you see someone explaining something which they know to be more complicated, and they don't want to just be a populist, and you might say, oh, he doesn't have any presence, right? But they're just being careful.
I think he has plenty of presence. I mean, for me,
I think Ben's a fantastic. I think he's very charismatic. I think he's a fantastic. I don't think I've seen. I mean, Ben got hit. There was some anti-Semitic woman stood up at the last event, and to be honest, if I'd have been there, I'd have wrestled the mic out of her hand and not let her finish what she was saying.
I would be like a bit careful of people who are associated with other parties attending Advance UK and who are like part of other organizations. I'll send you a message afterwards. Yeah.
But I want to. That's not the point I'm making. That can happen at any event.
Yeah.
But the way Ben handled that, shows the measure of Ben. Yeah. He didn't miss a beat, right? And he very graciously answered the question, but answered in a way that made it very, very clear where he stood on the issue. And that woman was a plant to deliberately try and sabotage that meeting, right? And she failed dismally.
Let me ask you though, Richard, like, if you don't mind, Paul, do you see a lot of this sort of energy, sort of like a Groiper energy coming from within online, right? Like, because it's mostly
Yeah,
American thing, but do you see that within UK? And I
I
see
do.
it.
I do.
Unfortunately, I see it a lot with some of the Rupert Lowe's followers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some of those I call them the
yeah,
young guns, and we know who we're talking about.
yeah.
Connor Tomlinson's okay. I don't think but he's
Connor's
kind
nice
of a
guy.
bit.
Yeah.
But there's other people around, and that guy with the dark hair, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and a couple of others. And when you drill down, they seem a bit ethno-nationalist to me, right?
Hmm.
They seem a bit ethno-nationalist, and and there's others as well. There's others. There's people. I've seen people on Lotus Eaters again seem to be very much going down that sort of direction. And I'm not comfortable with it. And this is the battle that we're in. This is why Christianity is so important. Because if you're a Christian, you can't have those views. You can't
Yeah.
look at someone's skin color and go, "Oh, because you're a different skin color to me, you're out." Which is what they're doing. I mean, people said the other day. Somebody said the other day, "Oh, if you're not born in the UK, you shouldn't be able to hold office, be a member of parliament." I don't agree with that. Look at Ian Hirsi Ali. She was a member of parliament in Holland, and she's done more to fight against radical Islam than any of these guys,
I
and
think
put a
so, she
life
was
on the
in
line.
Denmark.
Pardon?
I think so. It was Denmark.
No, it's Holland.
But
She was
okay,
Holland,
but
definitely.
no, but
Yeah,
your point stands.
yeah,
But the
yeah.
thing is, like, this is what I see a lot of. Like, I don't know, like, if I completely disagree with them, they have some points and stuff as well, which we need to take into consideration, maybe. But like, a lot of restore Britain people are sort of like that. Do you think then there's a clash between what Rupert thinks should be the direction of how extreme we should be on the online, right, and what Ben thinks, and that's a divide as well behind the
No,
scene?
I think this is a false divide. I don't think there's much of a divide between Ben and Rupert at all.
No, I don't.
Hmm.
I don't see it, and I think what our enemies want to do is get a hammer and chisel and put a big gap between Ben and Rupert. There's no real gap. Some of the young guns around Rupert, I'm not a big fan of, and they're probably not a big fan of mine, and I don't really care. I mean, they do that. They do their thing. I do my thing. It's up to them. But I don't like some of their rhetoric. But that doesn't mean that Rupert's necessarily going to be influenced by them. And the reality is, what will have to happen is there will have to be a coming together of the right. Now, let me just say this, okay? Because I got myself in terrible trouble last week for something that I said. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that Advance joins with any other party, right? At all, right? I'm not suggesting that, because Advance has its own plan and it's ploughing its own furrow. It's very important people understand that. But there may have to be some sort of coming together, and
Yeah, you don't have to join to form alliances.
you can, and that will be worked out by all the political leaders nearer the time. But what I think will happen, though, I think Advance is going to get such a gravitational pull that people will be coming to Advance. As crazy as it sounds, with Reform on 33%, I think in the next election, people will come to Advance and saying, "Can we work together?" That's what I think will happen. And then it's we'll just, I suppose that's up to Ben to work out what he does then. But it's not.
Yeah.
And before anybody clips this and tries to cause trouble, I'm not suggesting that Advance have to form any alliance with anybody, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there may be people coming to Ben before the next election saying,
For the good of the country, like, you have to put the country first.
It's country before party always.
Yeah.
That's my point. If I say something, even as clumsy as I might say it, my point is it's the country that matters. And to me, what we've done, I said this on my own stream there, what we've done is we've given the country, well, I say we, Ben and the team around who have given the country a toolbox with the solutions to every single problem that we've got. Unite the Kingdom for the street movement, because we need to do that to bring ordinary people like me along. We've got the spiritual revival that seems to be growing, and we've got Advance UK. So we've got all the levers of power that we can pull to actually save this country. And that I'm frustrated that Rupert Lowe hasn't jumped into Advance, right? I'm frustrated that people are still backing Reform because they can't see beyond the end of their own noses. I'm frustrated that anyone's even still in the Tory party, let alone talking about voting for them. Because I'm looking at that and going, look, we've got a solution here. And again, like, obviously everybody's got to come in their own way and in their own time. And I know when I'm passionate about something, I'm one track mind. That's it. This is what everyone's got to do. Come on, follow us. But I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. And to me, I'm saying it again and again and again. Everybody needs to get off the fence and get behind Ben and back Advanced UK, because Advanced UK, as long as there's no massive banana skin between now and 2029, they will win the election. And we can watch this back in after the election in 2029 and see if I've been right. If I'm not, I'll be living in America anyway.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, Working Class Patriot says you need to get Rupert Lowe to come on with Paul and Richard. You know, mate, listen.
We've tried, haven't we?
I've tried. I've asked him a number of times, and he never replies. He will only appear on, you know, certain channels. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why I raised that question as well, because a lot of people around him, a lot of people who advise him and stuff like that, they do not like the Unite the Kingdom movement because it's not ethno-nationalist enough for them and stuff like that. So there is a possibility that he's being influenced by that. Is there anything wrong with that as well? Like there's few things wrong with that, but you know, they have a point as well. Like, you know, they want Britain for the British, right? Like for the British first and stuff like that. Do we need to actually understand their point of view, maybe, like, and address it in a way that doesn't just disregard them, throw them out? Maybe we need to sort of welcome them in as well. But I also see like Advanced UK need to be prepared for the same attacks that MAGA movement has been under from the groypers within their sort of party, because that's coming.
They've got to be resisted. I'll tell you why, Momus, right? They've got to be resisted. We can't compromise. We have to be completely unflinching on this, right? We're not ethno-nationalists. Well, Vance can't be ethno-nationalist because you're in it and Ben's the leader. So it can't be ethno-nationalist. It's nonsense, right? So we can't compromise. We can't give them any credence. Now, when Ben discusses this, he's a lot more gracious than I am, right? Because Ben goes, yeah, you know, I see the point, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't have dual nationality and all that sort of stuff. Ben's a very gracious man the way he deals with these people. I'm a bit different. If you want to be an ethno-nationalist, go and join Patriotic Alternative. Go and join whatever other parties there are out there. I forget the name of them. There's a Homeland Party. Go and join an ethno-nat party. Don't pretend that you're one of us, you know, and have the strength. If you believe that Britain should be just for white people, have the strength of your convictions and go and join a party that believes that. But don't pretend you're on our side. Don't pretend you're a civic nationalist who believes that we can actually, if we deal with the Islam issue, right, that we can actually have a very cohesive society with people from lots of different ethnic backgrounds. Now, I still want to deport a whole lot of people. Like, so I'm not soft on this. If you've come here and you think more of Palestine, if you're a Pakistani man living in Birmingham and you think more of Palestine, or you've raped some children, right, I want you gone out of my country, right? I want you. And even if your family's been here for 3 generations, I still want you gone out of my country if you're in a grooming gang. Okay, so I'm hardline on that. But when it comes to the colour of skin, I don't care what colour people's skin is, because at the end of the day, Momus, you're my friend. And if anybody tried to deport you from the country, they'd have to go through me first, right? It's as simple as that. And the same with my friends from the West Indies that I served in the military with. The same with my Somali friend that was on the streets of Northern Ireland with me for 2.5 years, right? Think I'm going to let anyone throw, and he was a Muslim. Think I'm going to let anyone throw people like that out of the country? I'm not going to sign off on that. Because
what we always said, Richard. What we always said.
It's what's in your heart that counts, Paul. If your heart's red, white,
I'm asking, like, so just so people know, I'm asking these questions for there to be questions, like, so people know, not my own personal point of views as well. But I think so. It's just like, because the online world radicalizes people in such ways, and we can see how it is, like, the toxic it has become, and it is radicalizing people. It doesn't truly reflect what's out there in the real world, because it's like that online right sort of community is a worldwide community. So there might be 1 million over there, let's say, in some space, but we don't know where they're from. A lot of them might be from India. You know, you never know. India, Pakistan,
Qatar,
like that they're running.
We know that Qatar is funding a lot of these people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Qatar's got a big. Listen, I mean, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not making this accusation, so I want to make that very clear. But I wouldn't be surprised if we found that there was money coming to that fellow in America that's doing a lot. Is it what's his name?
Tucker.
Oh, man. Tucker, yeah, Tucker. There's all sorts of accusations about him related.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's pretty obvious. Yeah.
And you know, Piers Morgan's a weird one. What's his
He's a
agenda?
wanker, man.
What's his
All
agenda?
all he wants is he knows. Like people think he's stupid. He's actually really smart, but he's just very self-interested, smart person, right?
Yeah.
He knows what gets the clicks. So he's not going to go one way or another. He's going to say things that gets the both liberals and conservatives on both sides because he wants the views. That's all he wants. He admitted it on. He once appeared on trigonometry. He admitted like that's all he wants, like the most eyes on his interviews or something of that sort.
And Momus, me and you have spoke about this, mate, right? Here's the thing. If we deal with the Islam problem, and it is a problem, right?
Yeah.
If we deal with the Islam problem, all the other problems go away in terms of social cohesion. Now we've still got economic problems.
100%.
Because it's not about skin color, and it's not about what I call Muslims in name only. And you know yourself, Momus, there's loads of people like Shohab and Lubna. They're kind of not proper, like Quran believing, jihadi, loony, Deobandi types. They're kind of moderate, right? Now, but what happens is because the Deobandi and the Salafis and the JI and the MB have such a lot of power over the communities that basically they have a stranglehold on the community, and it's very difficult for the community to move away from that without getting themselves into bother.
Yeah, it's disabling for their own communities.
And the Barelvi tribal leaders, a lot of these grooming gangs that, and the voter blocks are from the Barelvi tribes who were meant to be moderates, right? The Ahmadiyya Muslim up in Glasgow that got murdered by one of them, found out they weren't that moderate. This idea of moderate Islam is a myth, because even the moderates, if you say something about Muhammad or burn a Quran, they're going to come to you with a knife and do some damage to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people just don't understand what we're up against, and people like yourself, Momus, that have come out of Islam, you're in a lot more danger than I am because of what you've done, because of the stand you've taken. As are people like, well, I'm not going to name them, but other people that have taken that stand, and we need to protect you guys, right? So if the ethno-nats are coming after you guys, as well as going after the proper, Deobandi, Salafi, Muslim Brotherhood, Jamaat Islami people, they're the ones that are the problem, But the problem is 80% of pastors, not pastors, of imams coming out of what they call them, the madrasas. Are Deobandi now? 80% are Deobandi. And that, so we've got big problems.
You're completely right on that. Like people, the thing is, this country has known about the Islamic extremism for past 40 years. It's just we're not doing anything about it. It's just growing in strength more. Like they're doing more and more. They they see an opportunity of it as well. But I would still also say alongside with that even though parable of the sheep, right? So we need to keep that in mind, that those people might be lost, which we are disregarding as ethno-nationalists and stuff, or not just because I don't think so ethno-nationalist position is completely wrong. It's just the extreme sides of it go a bit wayward, right? But we need to bring them back as well, and that should be the Christian motive in a lot of people as well, because there's a lot of disenfranchised white young men in this country who have been let down by the system, who nobody is listening to them, right? And now if we start pushing them away as well, saying, oh yeah, you're just ethno-nationalists and stuff, there is a lot of horrible things, and I'm saying it because it's directed towards me, but still I'm showing that compassion on that regard, because they are ruining their lives and stuff, and their lives will be ruined from it. We need to find a way, because these are your countrymen. You cannot leave them. These are the future. You can't just leave them to the whims of some evil ideology and stuff, and then they will be stranded and lost. We have to think of ways to bring them back.
Yeah. Can I just address this comment here, Paul, by Daniel S6G7Q, obviously using his real name. Same as majority of Muslims in the UK, but you want them all out, Richard. Talking rubbish again. Listen to Zia Yusuf and Layla Cunningham of Reform, both British Muslims, and criticise Islamists and grooming guys. Have I ever said at any time that I want all Muslims out of the UK? Have I ever said that?
I don't think so. I might have said it, but you haven't.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've never said that. I've never said that. And again,
I can't find the comment. What time is it, Richard?
It's 10:17 p.m. It's Daniel -SG. It's a green D on the thing. Now, I've never said that, and I'm not criticising Layla Cunningham. I've got criticisms of Zaya Yusuf, okay, because I think he's a wrong, and not because he's a Muslim. I just think he's a wrong, and because of what he did to Rupert Lowe and what he's done to other people. I think he's a snake, right? But that's not because he's a Muslim. That's because he's a snake. Now, he might be a snake because he's a Muslim. I don't know, but he is a snake, right? Mm. So when somebody's making that sort of accusation and saying, I want all Muslims out, I tell you what I do want. I want all radical Muslims out. And I think, Dan, you'll probably find out there's a lot more radical Muslims in the country than you think. That's probably what you'll find out if you really go and do a bit of research instead of looking at, oh, Layla Cunningham and Zia Yusuf have been very nice about people that have been groomed. Yeah, okay. Well, what about the million girls that have been groomed in the last 30 years? Go and tell them, the cuddly version of Islam that you want to show everybody. If you look at the statistics are shocking. Over 50% of Muslims want homosexuality to be illegal in the UK. Over 50% of Muslims want blasphemy against Muhammad to be illegal in the UK. So there is massive community cohesion problems. So don't put words in my mouth and say I'm saying something I'm not saying.
Yeah, let me come in there. Daniel, I will say this. Richard has never, ever said that. And he takes criticism from the genuine far right for not saying it.
Yeah. I think so. You know what, like what we have actually said in the past as well, Richard, is that we want Islam out, right? Like that's a bit different because we have talked a lot about it, like why we should actually kick Islam out, to take away the legitimacy from Islam of being a legitimate religion, so that those Muslims who are on the fence or moderate and stuff
are free,
actually leave it, right?
Free.
And they have a pathway of leaving it without state censorship or state persecution and stuff. That's
and Momus, the problem with this guy's comment and the ignorance of the man, the problem with this guy's comment is the likes of you, who's a friend of mine, you're in danger because of the radicals, right? Yeah. I want people that basically read the Quran and believe it and believe all the tenets of Islam to stop believing it, right? And I want that to happen by Christianity or by education, right? But you're in danger not from me, Momus. You're in danger from the radicals in the Muslim community that say he's an apostate, we can kill him. That's just a fact.
I don't know. If you eat all my pigs and blankets, then I am in danger from you as well.
Well, that's true as well.
But no, you're right. Like you're right. Like we have to understand, like the Islamic extremism problem.
It's very widespread.
It's like, and the thing is, it's not just Islamic extremism problem. It is the Islam problem. Islam is a radical extremist ideology and stuff.
Absolutely.
We have talked about this for a lot in the past. I have talked about this a lot in the past. Let's not make it a Muslim thing, because the Muslims will leave themselves when you stop Islam from being over here. So those who actually believe in it, when they can't continue believing in it, when you ban halal food, like when you take away the burqa, when you take away all their legitimacy as a religion, and the things that they enjoy, benefits are of being a religion, they're tax free, they make their homes into mosques, and then their houses are tax free, they don't pay council tax on it, and all that bullshit, when that goes away, a lot of these people will voluntarily repatriate themselves. We can even give them benefits. We can even say, okay, here you go, 30,000 pounds, go back to fucking Pakistan or Bangladesh, wherever you want to go to, right? A lot of those things. That doesn't mean that, you want to kick every Muslim out, right? Like we want to kick this ideology out, just like we want to kick communism out, right? So that doesn't mean every communist in this country we want to kick them out, because there is no country that you can go to anyways. But even if there was, it's not that. It's just that we don't want that ideology to be people can believe in those things in their own home, but they don't have legitimacy. You can't openly follow such things. That's the thing.
And this is what the secular mind doesn't understand, Momus, and this is why it's really important to try and help people understand this. And there's a difference between an idea and a person, right? I believe in Christianity, and it hopefully informs what I do to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
If I'm a very, not convicted Christian, and I don't, then I'm not going to try and live a Christian life, right? But if you're massively into Islam and you're believing that you want to be like Muhammad, and I remember my friend Mufassal Islam. This guy obviously never saw the videos I did for hours online. Do you remember Mufassal Islam, Momus? Do you remember?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, Mufassal was a Dawi, which is basically an Islamic evangelist, right? So he knew the Quran inside out, and we would sit down for hours, and he would just educate me on why. And he'd left Islam. He would educate me on why Islam was such a terrible, terrible idea. And we've got hours of videos. If you got my YouTube channels from 2017, that's probably why I got demonetized, because of Mufassal, because he was great. He was crazy. He would sit there and I'm not going to use the word. He would sit there and go, Muhammad is a RAP, whatever. And he would just say it with such passion, and he was a murderer. And this is what he'd say. And I'm going, oh man, this is just after Charlie Hebdo. I think this guy's trying to get us killed here. Do you know what I mean? But he was crazy. But he was an ex-Muslim, and he was Bangladeshi, and he got put under so much pressure and death threats from the Bangladeshi community that he had to revert and pretend to be a Muslim to save him and his family from violence.
And the pressure
in the UK. So pressure, sorry, Daniel. That's why I'm angry about that, because hold on a wee minute. I've sat with Muslims that have been persecuted by Islam, right? Yeah. Women who were, the same thing. See what happened with the grooming gangs? It's happening with women in that community, in the mosques in East London, like with Bangladeshi women. Because I spoke to them, and they told me their stories about how their husbands sexually abused them, how the imams sexually abused them. So I'm sorry, Daniel, don't come preach to me about what I think about Muslims. You don't know anything about me, you numpty.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, boys. Before we go any further, Richard, talking about people of other colour, what is this picture you put up in the... well, Paul, what it was, I was trying... Because I made that very nice graphic earlier on. So I got Danny... What you didn't know, Danny had a hidden camera. And when you were doing the Christmas shopping, right, in the market in Benidorm, I got him to take a quick snapshot, and that's what came back. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening, but apparently that was you, Paul, earlier on today. I've got a little confession to make, guys. If anybody at home sitting there and thinking, Paul's been a bit quiet tonight, you know what? I am knackered, right? I have had my 8-year-old granddaughter around for the last 2 nights, and she's had me up all night. So I've had virtually no sleep for 48 hours. And I've got a recovering time for Christmas Eve. I'm ready to sleep for 24 hours.
Well, I have a confession as well. I did a live stream last night. I think I finished about 11 o'clock or something like that. Then I was chatting to... I can't remember what I did after that, but I think I watched TV. I can't remember who was on the stream last night, but anyways, so I got to bed. What's he laughing at? Someone's put someone in the comments there. What's he laughing at? But,
no, I'm just laughing at you forgetting what you was doing 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was So I went to bed about 2 a.m. Got up, did my live stream got up at 6:30. Did my live stream at 7:30. Went to bed after having a shower. And woke up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So I slept about 6 hours straight from doing my live stream. So I know what you're going through, Paul. And I'm feeling great. That's why I'm so bouncy and aggressive. And come on, let's take on the world.
I'll tell you what, Rick. Should we do a little bit of practice for Christmas Day? Should we?
Oh no.
Where's he gone?
I don't know. I'm getting worried.
Well, that's the practice for Christmas Day, Rich. You've got to keep the fort going.
Oh, right. Okay. So
you have to keep the stream going.
Anyway, Paul Thorpe told everybody that he was going to do a show. Oh, it's great, isn't it? So let the music. Do you know what, Paul? You know that if you'd have left that going for about another 30 seconds, I was going to completely implode your channel.
Yeah.
It would.
Oh god! Right, God. Before we go, Momus, do me a favour. Can you put your details in the chat there so that I can put it up on screen?
I'm not logged in. So
okay. So what's your website?
Theworldofmomus.com. MOMUS, the world of Momus.com. And you can
Right.
find all my stuff over there. And everyone on the stream should go straight away and
I'll
subscribe.
put that up in the comments there.
Yeah, become a paid subscriber as well. Don't be stingy.
You grifter, Momus. You dreadful grifter.
All the money. All the money. Stop giving it to Paul. Just give to me.
You'll be on the list with me and Paul. Me and Paul are the chief grifters in the movement.
Yeah.
Thank you, Val. Oh, yeah. So much so, yeah. Oh, don't even start me on that one.
No.
Right, boys, I'm going to wrap it up. We've got over 2,000 people watching, but we've been on for an hour and a half. I need to get some sleep because I'm ready to I'm just thinking, what do you reckon on Christmas Eve?
Paul, I'm not coming on Christmas Eve, mate. Listen, I've got to tell you something, Paul. I'm going to do say on Christmas Day, if you get an hour out of me, you'd be lucky. Because I've got my family. I've got a family that I've got to,
Mate,
go and visit.
You got a family here that's over.
But my daughter's doing Christmas dinner, so I can't be on the show with you and then be round at my daughter's having Christmas dinner, can I?
Well, I'm eating Christmas dinner on the show.
Oh, yeah. It's Paul. It's your show, your idea, your bag. You carry the can, mate. I'll pop on for a few minutes on Christmas Day.
Your actual true followers are only going to be on there. You can actually see who your true followers are. Because nobody else is going to sit there watch you eat your Christmas dinner.
Look, Richard, you know what? I'll tell you what, right? There's 2,100 people watching this now. Remember this, guys, right? Remember who stood with you on Christmas Day and who bottled out. Remember.
It's not Paul. No, Paul. I'll be doing my own show. I'll be doing a little mini breakfast show on Christmas morning after I've been for my swim. I might take a little bit of footage with down in my speedos with my glasses, with my Southern Comfort and ginger on the beach, and my medallions, my red speedos. So I might.
Is that your medallions? Is that one medallion hanging out each side?
Well, I'm hoping to get one for Christmas, mate. Do you know what I mean? So I'll do a little bit from the beach. Won't be live; it'll be recorded. Then I'll do my little show, and then once I've had Christmas dinner, and the family kick me out, because they will kick me out because I'll say something offensive. Once they offend the family and they kick me out, then I'll probably come on your channel for a little bit.
That's it. Yeah. Richard and his budgie smugglers. Yeah.
Excuse me, parrot smugglers, if you don't mind. Less than a budgie.
I was going to say blue.
Don't, Paul, don't. Just don't. Just leave the pigs and blankets alone, all right?
What were those prehistoric birds called?
Dodos.
No.
Oh yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
No, that was a pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. Yeah.
Pterodactyl smugglers.
Oh mate.
Well, that went downhill, didn't it? Fast.
Really did. See, once you get tired, mate, you're meant to say this stuff when we're not live. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've not even had a drink, mate. God.
I know, neither have I. I don't drink anymore.
Oh, get out of here, God. Momus, thank you.
Is that a pig in a blanket, or are you just pleased to see me?
Oh, God.
Sydney's going to have nightmares. Pooh Bear Womble's vomiting.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I'll wear a mankini. But it's okay, I'll wear a mankini. Don't worry about it.
Oh, right. We're going to go before it gets out of hand. Right, love to you all. We will be back or I'll be back. I don't know where Richard will be. He stitched me right up. He told me he'd share the shift, but he's
Hold on a minute. Are we still on?
Go on, what have you got? Yes, we are still on. Be careful. Go on, what are you...
Hold on, mate. Just bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to try and get this in the chat. Oh, well.
All right, Claire.
Put it on the... That's Paul live on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Right, we'll be back on. Well, I hope we will anyway.
Your Charles Toast now, Paul. It's getting smoked.
I've just seen the things on the nipples.
Yeah.
They're baubles, mate. They're baubles.
Oh dear. Momus, many apologies, my friend, because you come on here and bring some real quality to this show.
Momus is ruined. He's going to be kicked out of the band as a result of Oh dear. Yeah, everybody, see you tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning.
Right, let me just play the outro. I'll tell you what, Richard, are you streaming live to yours as well?
Yeah, but don't worry, it's not monetized, mate.
Oh, okay, right. God bless everyone. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks, Momus.